Round middleweight. Russia's Gaydarbek Gaydarbekov won a silver medal at the Sydney Olympic Games, but he had a dispute with the Russian Federation. He dropped off the international scene, comes back this year and wins the European Championship. And Teddy, he has something to prove here in Athens.
And he shows you how he does it. Right here, he's in the orthodox stance. He's boxing, he's using the jab. He'll come forward when you're not set. He'll step back when you are set. He knows how to use that style. He's very experienced, as you said. He doesn't get flustered.
And he's got a lot to prove. Now, one of the wild cards here that he's going against is from Cameroon. And a very interesting story. 20-year-old Hassan Ndam Njikam. Well, he had a very big win in his last fight against Andy Lee. It was a wild one that went down to final punches totaled.
The African nations, as Cameroon is, they're more stable, a little bit more traditional. They don't give you as many problems with movements with their styles. They're strong and they're very willing, but he's going to have his hands full with the Russian.
Gaydarbekov, 27 years of age. Ndam Njikam is just 20 years of age, and I would think Gaydarbekov, Teddy, can just use his style to dictate this fight.
Yeah, he'll use that ring as he wants to use it, and he'll control, as you've heard so many times in this tournament, distance and range. And he'll do one other thing. He'll use this muscle upstairs, not this one.
All right, can Ndam Njikam pull off the upset against the silver medalist from City, Gaydarbekov? We'll find out after this. Welcome back to the Paris Olympic Boxing Hall. Middleweight quarterfinal action. Gaydarbekov of Russia, silver medalist from the Olympic Games in Sydney, taking on one of the surprise stories, Hassan Ndam Njikam of Cameroon. Cameroon, no medals in the middleweight division. Their last boxing medal came in 1984 in the lightweight division. Gaydarbekov, the European champion earlier this year. Impressive credentials for the 27-year-old from Russia.
And a more experienced Russian will try to use that European style to keep the fighter from Cameroon off balance.
Ndam Njikam of Cameroon in the blue, taking on the European champion, Gaydarbekov. Gaydarbekov was never named to the Russian World Championship team. He fell out of favor with the Russian Federation. He was soundly beaten in the Russian Nationals. Many felt the Russian Federation was trying to send Gaydarbekov a motivational message. And he resurfaced. Remember, this is a silver medalist from the Olympics. He resurfaced this year representing Russia and won the European Championship. So he's got a spur in his boot.
The much less experienced Ndam Njikam trying to bring his own brand of style and difficult approach to Gaydarbekov.
Ndam Njikam, Cameroon, moving.
Most of the fighters from the African nations, in this case Cameroon, more standard, not versed in the European style. In this case, Ndam Njikam, awkward in his own way, but in a way that could be dangerous. When he comes in, it's with long punches that can leave a hole.
Gaydarbekov lost the gold medal bout in Sydney to Jorge Gutierrez of Cuba. Tight one, 17-15. Good left hand to the body by Gaydarbekov.
That's one way to take away the legs of Ndam Njikam and some of that awkward approach. Go downstairs.
Ndam Njikam and Gaydarbekov 27, Ndam Njikam 20. Look at this. This is how tight it's been for Ndam Njikam, Teddy. He's had 2 ties, and he advanced on total punches 87-85 against Ubaldo, and then Andy Lee of Ireland 77-69. So it's been punch differential that's enabled Ndam Njikam of Cameroon to even advance to the quarterfinals and have a chance for a medal.
Maybe his awkward approach a little bit, using his legs jumping in with long punches, getting the most, either way you look at it, out of his lack of experience compared to the European fighters he's been dealing with and facing.
Hey, Ndam Njikam on the bike. Gaydarbekov, he's trying to cut off the ring a little bit, but he's not being reckless.
Well, more importantly, Gaydarbekov not used to having to go about fighting in the Olympics this way, where he has to walk forward. He likes to do that. Step back, make you come forward where you can counter, and then come forward when you don't expect it. He's coming forward with a fighter that expects it right now and uses the ring quite well. And you can see not a lot of comfort by Gaydarbekov with that approach, that philosophy.
Referee Arturo Vidal of the Philippines.
You can see what I'm talking about. Gaydarbekov not comfortable having to press with the style of Ndam Njikam, staying away, giving up ground, using the legs. Gaydarbekov doesn't know what to do with aggressive or in an aggressive mode with a fighter who's moving, fleeing, circling around. Gaydarbekov, this is not usually the way he goes about it. Again, he's used to guys coming at him where he can control the tempo, the way the fighters fought. And you can see Gaydarbekov doesn't have a lot of understanding of how to deal with this kind of style. Not jabbing to the chest, forget the head when a guy's hard to find like Ndam Njikam. Jab to the chest, stabilize him, then you can find the head. A jab to the body would be well served for the man in red from Russia as Ndam Njikam moves around the ring. That would slow down the fighter from Cameroon.
And there's the bell to end the second round. Gaydarbekov almost smiling at the style that's in front of him right now.
Gaydarbekov not used to having to come forward. And you can see it right there. Doesn't use his jab to work his way in. He reaches, he gets tangled up, he's out of control. The only good news there for Gaydarbekov, he doesn't get scored on. Because right now, Ndam Njikam, although giving problems to Gaydarbekov, frustrating him, he can't win the fight this way because he's not looking to make him pay yet and score. And you must score to win a fight.
At some point, Ndam Njikam is going to have to come forward, Teddy, because he's trailing right now in the bout. He's down by 3. You saw his coach just hold up 3 fingers. How does Ndam Njikam get into punching range without playing into Gaydarbekov hands?
I'm not sure he has to come forward, actually, Bob, to score. But what he does have to do, if he's going to keep using this style, he's got to punch as he steps back, as Gaydarbekov reaches in and gets off balance. He's got to at least make him pay and punch. As far as coming forward, the best way to come forward anytime is with a jab. I don't know if Ndam Njikam knows what a jab is. Seems like his whole repertoire of punches consists of looping long punches.
And you take a look at his draw, and Ndam Njikam, and he had a boxer from the Dominican who's more apt to sort of trade. That one ended in a tie. Ndam Njikam doesn't have a good shot there, and then gets tagged going straight back, and then he had Andy Lee of Ireland, and those two just traded. But Gaydarbekov, a totally different style than Ndam Njikam has faced so far in the Olympics.
I think Ndam Njikam is a totally different style than Gaydarbekov has faced, and it's showing. Gaydarbekov frustrated.
But he does have a lead.
Yes, he does, but he's still frustrated. Trying to figure out, trying to sort out a way to land meaningful punches. One way to do that is when you have a guy that doesn't know what he's doing himself. It's hard to know what to do yourself. So when you finally get close, in close quarters with that kind of fight, in this case, that fighter would be Ndam Njikam, you should work in close. Look, this is the most stable place you're going to find Ndam Njikam, in close. That's where Gaydarbekov frustration is showing, because he finally gets in close, and look what he does. He gets more frustrated. He doesn't work in close. He finally has to fight him in blue at a place where he can find him. That's where Gaydarbekov should work.
Gaydarbekov led by 3 at the end of the second round. His lead is now 7.
Ndam Njikam comes in dangerously from too far away with looping punches like that, no jab. Gaydarbekov would just set himself for that. He knows it's coming, he's seen it. And punch in between those wide shots. And here's a warning for 2 points will be added to the score of the Russian.
So that makes Hassan Ndam Njikam of Cameroon's task even greater. Now he trails by 9 through 3. Ndam Njikam from Cameroon, located in West Central Africa, and trying to mix it up with the silver medalist from the Olympic Games in Sydney, Gaydarbekov.
Well, Gaydarbekov would set himself, he could catch Ndam Njikam coming in with those long punches. Here you see again, long punch from Ndam Njikam. Gaydarbekov would be well served to just stand his ground and punch inside those wide shots. He's being thrown off by the motion, not concentrating on what he needs to do, what's in front of him. Not concentrating on the flaws of Ndam Njikam, just seeing the awkwardness of Ndam Njikam.
Gaydarbekov, intriguing name, representing Russia. He's a Tatar Russian, which is a Turkic-speaking Russian. And, Gaydarbekov, 27 years of age, like to grab himself a gold here in Athens.
Speaking of intriguing names, if a coach got frustrated at the Cameroon fighter, he might say, "Darn it, Ndam." Start throwing straight punches.
Come on, Ted. You writing stuff for Rogan now upstairs?
If he asked me, I would help him out. We're all part of a team.
Gaydarbekov with a right cross gets his lead to 10 against the awkward Hassan Ndam Njikam.
Again, I believe Gaydarbekov, he's not used to seeing this kind of style, and right now he's not seeing the mistakes in Ndam Njikam. He's just not seeing it. It's right there. We're seeing it, but we're outside the ring. Emotion's so important to control inside that squared circle, that chamber of truth. Gaydarbekov not seeing the mistakes of Ndam Njikam. He's only seeing the frustration and only seeing the awkwardness of Ndam Njikam, and he's seeing 2 points added to his score by another warning given out by the ref. All Gaydarbekov has to do, he's going to win this fight anyway, all he has to do is stand his ground. Right now, watch. Just set himself right now and punch as Ndam Njikam reaches in and leaves an opening. But Gaydarbekov moving away, adding to the confusion.
Ndam Njikam landed about 3 punches and got no credit for it. Not only has he received 2 warnings, but the few punches he does land, no credit for it.
The best thing that happened or has happened to Ndam Njikam in this fight is what has not happened. He has not paid a real big price for coming in with all those long punches that normally would mean you're going to get caught and you're going to be hurt. You knew that was going to happen sooner or later with the awkwardness of these 2 fighters, especially the fighter in blue.
Now they're giving a warning to Gaydarbekov for pushing.
Well, he hasn't had one yet.
Now Gaydarbekov backpedaling.
I'm just going to let you take it home.
Thanks, Ted. Gaydarbek Gaydarbekov of Russia in the red will advance to the medal round. He's insured of at least the bronze. He won silver at the Sydney Olympics. Gaydarbekov would like to do one better here in Athens. He's one step closer with a 26-13 victory over Hassan Ndam Njikam of Cameroon. A couple of warnings in there and fractions, and nice run for Hassan Ndam Njikam as he advanced to the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games, and he's only 20 years of age. Gaydarbek